Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel, and in our top stories today from Just the News, DC Police Union, carjackings down 83%, overall crime dropped 8% since federal assistance began. And this is amazing. It only took Donald Trump 4 days. The Democrats talked about this for weeks, months, and years about how they were going to help or provide assistance or other measures to clean up DC, and it never happened, right? They have the typical kick the can down the road. But you guys already know, because you're astute and you're shrewd and you keep up with these things, and of course you hit that like button, when you agree with the fact that the left hijacked our culture, our institutions and justice system so that they could, propagate their ideology, philosophy, and worldview, and they were light on crime. And then going back to 2012, they wanted to defund police, so they made it impossible for the police to do their jobs. And within the last several years, police were finding themselves getting reprimanded, suspended, or fired for doing their job because they wanted the police to be on eggshells, because they had an angst towards police officers. Now, carjackings in Washington, D.C. are down by 83%, and overall crime has dropped 8% since President Trump sent federal agencies to assist the Metropolitan Police Department last week, according to the DC Police Union. Robberies in the nation's capital have dropped 46%, and violent crime has fallen by 22%, the union, which represents MPD's 3,000 personnel, said Monday. Car theft has declined by 21%, while property crimes and assault with a deadly weapon are down by 6%. While federal assistance gives us a boost, we must repeal the misguided Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Act in order to make these changes permanent, the union said in a statement on X. So there you have it. This is what the Democrats were doing. They were making it impossible for law enforcement to do their jobs because they wanted to make sure that everything was fair. It reminds me a lot of the United Kingdom and Europe, as though incidents that happen require some referee to make sure everything is fair. Look, you're protecting your property, you're protecting yourself. You should be able to defend yourself without being prosecuted. It's just absurd, isn't it? And we see here from Paul D. Thacker, we see some of the statistics here. Robbery, 46%. Assault with deadly weapon, 6%. Carjacking, car theft, violent crime, property crime, all crimes down. So that's a very good thing. And here we have, of course, some additional statistics here from Mario Knopfel, and we have the same statistics here, and of course we have the National Guard here, I believe, with their vehicles. Despite the fact that CNN said there were tanks outside the White House, they're not tanks, they're just vehicles. There's some Humvees as well, but these are just your standard military vehicles, transport, that sort of thing. Nothing major, but of course the CNN and the mainstream media are going to sensationalize. And of course, you guys are probably familiar with this viral video from this retired UPS worker from Chicago, One Ray.
Man, down the city is quiet as a church mouse, man. I came all the way down Pennsylvania Avenue this morning. So peaceful, yeah. I don't smell no weed, young. I don't see no homeless people. I mean, I came all the way through the southeast side, all the way down here. You can see now I'm at the White House jump, man. It's quiet, yeah. It's a shame that it takes somebody to have to sit in your classroom in order for you to be in order, yeah.
Right. And that shot of the statue there used to be an encampment. So it's been completely cleared out. It's quite extraordinary.
Because that's what it feels like, yeah. You got to be babysitted to do your job, yeah. Stuff been out of control for years. You got to do better, yeah. You got to do better, yeah. And mainly, yeah, you got the problems. It's us, man. It's always us giving everybody a bad name, yeah. We'll see how long this lasts, yeah. How many murders was it last night? How many carjackings was it last night? Talk to me. And y'all keep on posting all these data numbers and things of that nature that y'all see everybody else reposting. The stuff that came from the Metropolitan Police Department and the mayor, yeah. Let me tell you something, yeah. Let me tell you something. You can't be that stupid. You can't be, man. Who enters that information to get that data analysis, yeah? People do. You can enter whatever numbers you want to make whatever report show what, but you can't hide the crime, yeah? You can't.
And I agree with him 100%. And what he's talking about here is D.C. police accused of changing crime stats just week before Trump federalized the city. And, of course, we saw the same thing happen when it came to, Powell there at the Treasury and the recently fired Board of Labor and Statistics as well, because they will doctor numbers. And this is a common thing. I know this very well. Ran into an incident many years ago in my work where this was happening. And, well, I don't want to get into all the details, but suffice it to say, cooking the books is a common thing. It's what we do as human beings. It's just kind of like padding your resume, right? We just kind of flower things to make things look a little better. And, of course, this is what they accused Donald Trump of doing in his real estate management, of just basically just putting a good light on his assets, and that was a crime for the Democrats because, a lot of the things that you see the Democrats accuse people of is what they do themselves. So, but yeah, the D.C. police accused of changing crime stats just weeks before Trump federalized the city, and this is just extraordinary. And we have an update on that, by the way. I just wanted to play it here from Eric Doherty. Holy crap, the chairman for the D.C. Police Union reveals how extensive the fraud was in the hiding of the true D.C. stats. So let's take a listen.
So can you confirm for us that there have been police officers and detectives and members of law enforcement in D.C. who on the scene of crimes have been told, yeah, don't write that one down, or don't add that to the list, or put that down as a more minor offense?
Absolutely. That's one of the chief complaints of our members when we go around and talk to them, is that they respond to the scenes of these violent crimes, and inevitably you'll have a captain or a commander or sometimes a lieutenant show up on the scene and advise them to take a report for a lesser offense. One of the things that we see them do often is sometimes there'll be a shooting or a stabbing, and if the victim is uncooperative with the police, which is not uncommon in some areas of the city, they'll be directed to take an injured person to the hospital report, which is not even a crime at all. It's an incident report. Sometimes you'll have a robbery. It'll be reported as a theft. Other times you'll have burglaries that are reported as unlawful entry or thefts. This is something that's been, unfortunately, part and parcel of the police department for some time, and we're very skeptical that these crime stats are accurate.
That's extraordinary. What is the motivation? Why are these commanders or higher-ups arriving on the scene during apprehensions and telling police officers to indicate something other than what actually happened at the scene?
Well, the only explanation could be to keep the crime stats down, because politically that's expedient for the police department and elected officials in the district.
Exactly. It's pretty simple, isn't it? And we saw the same thing during the George Floyd riots as well. And when you say, oh, well, crime is down here because of this, that, and the other. Yeah, it's because you're not prosecuting anybody. You're not prosecuting. The DAs were letting these people go. So that's the easiest way to pad, to stat pad, is just don't write it down. Just don't do it. Just let it go. And this is the problem we're having. I mean, look at cashless bail. I mean, these are things that are obvious and apparent and can be identified as being problems for law enforcement. So you guys let me know down in the comments if you're from the D.C. area or have been in the area lately. How is it now? I mean, it must be quite extraordinary, like we saw from the UPS guy here, about, being able to walk around and it's peaceful. And Trump was saying during the meetings with Zelensky that people were now going out to dinner and going places that they typically couldn't go to or wouldn't go to. But it's quite extraordinary, is it not? Just the difference it makes for an individual to come into office like the president and get things done, because that's what he does. He gets things done. So you guys let me know down in the comments what you think about all this. And, of course, I want to thank all you guys across New Tech, that's BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, for your guys' continued support. It's amazing. Below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to include X, by the way, so you guys can follow me there. And, of course, my affiliate links, you guys know how all those work. That's Amazon and TrustZone, two of my favorites. And, of course, your privacy is protected when using this. But, of course, to help out the channel, it's as simple as hitting that like button and sharing the content and commenting, because that's just the way the algorithm here on YouTube works. Now, the kind of satisfaction rating kind of thing going on. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. Appearing there on the screen, that's going to be the channel icon for everyone watching on YouTube specifically. You guys can click on that icon and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, why haven't you? And then, of course, you can decide if you want to be contacted there. You can subscribe and select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I will see all you guys in the next video.